Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I'm Jenny, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to achieve this base makeup look. So if you want to see that, keep on watching. And if you want to see this eye look, make sure you hit that subscribe button because it will be up next. So to start, I like to use the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Gel Yeah Moisturizer just all over the skin and let it sit in for a few minutes. And then I like to use some sort of lip balm. I don't always remember, but preferably I've been really loving the e.l.f. ones. Just really helps lock in some moisture while you're doing the rest of the face. I usually kind of toss my hair back also, and I like to use my little headband just to keep my hair back and out of my face. For primer, I've been kind of experimenting, trying different ones. Right now I'm using the Milani Skin Quench Hydrating Primer. So just kind of squeeze a dollop on the hands, like to warm it up a little bit between my fingers, and then just really press it into the skin. You don't want to like rub it in, you want to just kind of very gently press it. I like to let that kind of sit and absorb into the skin for a minute or two. Usually during that time I'll go and wash my beauty blender, which I just did, and that usually takes like a couple minutes. So now we'll jump into the foundation. I like to use a combination. You can definitely use just one product for sure, but for coverage and color and consistency, I really love to use the Juvia's Place. I don't remember what one this is exactly. It says I Am Magic Foundation, and that's the shade I am in. And then I use my L'Oreal True Match in N1. On the back of my hand, I just do like a couple pumps of the Juvia's Place. It's a bit thicker of consistency, but it's very, very pigmented and it's a bit too light for me. So it's also partly why I like to use two. And then I do a couple pumps of the L'Oreal one and then just blend it together. And then I like to dot it on the face, but then kind of blend it out a little bit. I feel like if I kind of pre-blend it with my finger, it helps keep that coverage, versus if I just go straight in with the beauty blender, it kind of absorbs more of it. That could just be in my head, but it's what I like to do personally. And then I just take whatever product is on my beauty blender for my nose. I feel like if I actually apply foundation directly to my nose, it just breaks apart and it's just too much. And I kind of do that with my chin. Sometimes I'll also just take the beauty blender and pick up the product and apply it directly to the skin. I definitely do that when I want to add some coverage to like my cheeks. And then I like to bring it down the neck, just to help blend everything together. Even though I am going to contour around my neck, I just think it looks a lot better. And if there's any excess product, I just kind of look and see where I might need some extra coverage. Sometimes there's a bit extra and I just wash it off my hand. Other times I want to add it, or if I have a spot that I want to cover up, I'll do that. And then for the lids, I like to just kind of blend out whatever might have gotten on there with the clean part of my beauty blender. So this is the skin so far with just those two foundations. Next, we're gonna contour using the e.l.f. Halo Glow, and this is in light medium. And then right on the bottom of the cheekbone and below it, I like to place this, and then beauty blender. And then I'll flip to the side that I was using for the foundation to kind of help blend that out a bit more. And then I like to jab it around my jaw and under the chin, just to kind of help chisel out the jawline and make it a bit more distinctive, I guess. And then sometimes I'll add a bit extra, just depending on how that blended out and how deep I want it to be. I do little by little. You don't want to add too much because then it's a lot harder to fix if you have too much product. And then that foundation side, just to blend out those lines a bit better. And then same thing on this side. You can dab, you can kind of swipe it. I like to kind of do a combo. I feel like dabbing is a bit better because if you swipe too much, it can kind of like take off some of that foundation. Note to self that if you ever feel like the coverage is lessened, try dabbing rather than swiping. And foundation side to help blend. And already you can kind of see like how my jaw and cheekbones are a bit more chiseled looking and not as flat. I love contouring. I know some people don't really do it a whole ton, but I feel like it really does help. For blush, I like to use a combination. So I use the NYX Sweet Cheeks in Baby Doll, as well as the e.l.f. Halo Glow, and this is in Rose You Slay. So I put down the NYX one first, just kind of dab it. I like a lot of blush. If you don't like this much, don't do as much. Just experiment. It's fun. Makeup is meant to be a creative outlet. And then with that e.l.f. one, just dabbing over those same spots. And then with the base of the Beauty Blender, just gonna tap, 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 and blend it out. And I kind of drag it down onto the apples of my cheeks a bit and up into my hairline and the temple. And I like to pull it like kind of into like almost like my eye, just to really blend it out. And then down the cheekbone a bit and kind of blend it into that contour. And it just brings some life back into the face. You can see half and half. It definitely looks more natural and more skin-like, versus this is a bit more flat and almost sickly looking because there's no color to it besides the contour. So again, that NYX product and then the e.l.f. Depending on how long I want the makeup to last, sometimes I'll set the face now and then again after powder products. So right now I'm trying out the Milani Make It Last setting spray. I already shook it up a bit, but you want to shake it and then just gently just mist all over the face. On a clean portion of the Beauty Blender, I like to just press that into the skin. I feel like it helps set the makeup better. I let that set for about a minute or so just to kind of dry and absorb into the skin and into the products. So then I'll go in with my setting powder. I've been using this e.l.f. HD powder in translucent. I just kind of shake it a little bit, carefully open it, and just dump the powder into the lid. And I like to use a little powder puff, just kind of press it into that powder. I kind of tap it off a bit, and then before setting, it's really important to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. So I'll go back in under the eyes, that same side of the Beauty Blender that we use for the foundation, and just blend out the under eyes to make sure that there's no creases. I like to do it one at a time, just really quick blend and then set. And then same thing, get that filled with powder, blend, 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 make sure it's nice and smooth and no creases under the lid, and then set. Just press it into the skin. And then I'll do the same with my forehead. I'll take the excess down the nose a bit, on the chin, and then sometimes I'll blend out my smile lines and just with a little bit. And then I also like to set my jawline just to kind of help brighten it. And then with my powder brush, I'll take a tiny bit of powder from the lid, just swipe it all over the face, just setting everything. Next, I go in and set that contour with a powder. I like to use the Wet n Wild Mega Glow in Dulce de Leche with a little angled brush. Just tap into that product, tap the excess off, and just very lightly on the skin, just kind of blend that out and deepen it a bit. You can kind of see the difference. And then down around the jaw, under the neck. And then for the nose, I do like to take the powder as well. I use the same brush, I just pinch it to make it thinner, and then I just kind of gently press it. And then I like to define the tip of my nose, so with it being pinched, I just put a tiny bit of product. You can kind of see it there. And then I'll wipe off the excess on the back of my hand and then just blend. And then sometimes I'll also use that powder brush that we use to sweep away the excess setting powder. For blush, I like to use this Essence Pure Nude. It's very rubbed off baked blush, and this is in Bold Heart. Just gently tap into the product, tap off the excess, and then just tap, tap, tap into the skin. For highlighter, I use this Revolution in Set the Tone. I use a little fan brush right in that product. I do tap it off a bit and just gently sweep it onto the top of the cheekbones. And I kind of blend it up the temple a little bit and just bring that glow back. Like, you can definitely see the glow in the skin a bit, but then when you add the highlighter, it's so pretty. I love a lot of blush and a lot of highlighter. And then again, tip of the nose, bridge of the nose, Sometimes I do like to do the Cupid's bow, which is the lip. It just helps highlight the center of the face more. And then for brows, I use the e.l.f. Instant Brow Lift pencil, and this is in like medium brown, I think. To start, I like to use the brush and just kind of brush any excess product out of my brows. And then I just fill them in. I don't focus on tiny hair-like strokes. I don't do any of that. I just like a nice bold brow. So I'm basically just coloring it in. In the front of the brows, I do kind of focus and try to make it a bit softer and not as dark. So it kind of fades a tiny bit, but I don't like it to be too faded. Then I'll take the brush, and then that's pretty much it. And then I just kind of go back and forth and see what I can tweak to try to make them look more symmetrical if they're not. And then I kind of look and see like, okay, this eyebrow feels like I need to fill it in a tiny bit more inward because it looked further out. So it's just kind of going back and forth, looking in my mirror, looking at my little one up close, and just trying to get them to be as symmetrical as possible. And I think that's pretty good. They're not perfect, but I like my brows the way they are. So now I'm going to set the face again. I like to kind of fan it with my hand a little bit just to help it dry. And then using the clean part of that beauty blender again, just kind of gently tap, 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 just kind of helps press it into the skin. It's a few days later and I was in the middle of editing this video and realized I forgot to film an outro. So thank you so much for watching. I know it's a bit of a longer, more in-depth chatty video, so make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you like that type of video so I know to make more. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below to join the family. I love you all so much and I'll see you in my next video.